Hey everyone, this is Summer Rima from Saved by Oils. Today I'm going to show you the top oils to use with your newborn, and I'm actually also going to just demonstrate it on my little demo baby. And this came from recommendation from a chiropractor and then also from a Young Living leader whenever I was just starting out in motherhood, and these were some of the top oils that I used. And so I wanted to share them with you. I get a lot of questions from new moms about essential oils and how they should use them and which ones they should use. So wanted to do a quick video just to run through it and show you exactly how I used to apply them. All right. So the first set of oils that I used were for sleep. So anybody that's been through having a newborn, or even watching a baby for, let's say, a day, knows that sleep is one of the most important aspects whenever you're a new parent. And so these are the 3 oils that I highly recommend for that. So the first oil is Sleepy Eyes. This is actually pre-diluted, and it was okay for us to put it on Cassie's skin, but I always recommend that you try it on their hands first and give it like an hour and see how it responds before you put it on their chest, because it's a little bit more sensitive. But what I would do is I would just rub it on my finger like this, and then I would just rub it right on her chest like this. And then she would be able to smell it. And sometimes I would put my finger over her, not over her nose, but just right under her nose so that she could smell it as well. So that's what I did with Sleepy Eyes. Again, it's pre-diluted and it's made for kids, but I used to use it on Cassie when she was a baby. The second oil that I would use all the time when Cassie was a newborn was lavender. Now, because I was a nursing mom, I had to be really careful with the oils that I used, because some of the oils like peppermint and digize and some of those other oils will actually lower your milk production. So I had to be really careful with that. And I had to make sure that I was using oils that were okay for breastfeeding. So lavender is absolutely okay. So I would use lavender, and I diffused this at night all the time. I diffused it during the day, and I would use it for her upset stomach. So this was one of the oils that it was recommended by her chiropractor to use. And I actually did take Cassie to the chiropractor when she was a newborn, but that's a different story. So whenever I would apply it to her stomach, when she had an upset stomach, I would actually just do it in the morning and night every single day. And it's actually clockwise. So you just rub about 3 to 5 times around clockwise. That's the way their intestines go, to really help with that digestion. And it's more of the massage with with the oil that really helps with this. So yeah, you would just go like this. And then, I would also do I can't really do it with his doll, but if you take their legs, if they're laying down flat like this and you take their legs up like this, you kind of do some bicycle moves with their legs, and that helps with the digestion too. And then I would also just do a full massage with her. And sometimes I would use a carrier oil with the lavender, and I would just massage all of her legs. And, maybe put a little bit of lavender on the bottom of her feet. So the reason why we put oil on the bottom of your feet is because it's the fastest way to get into your bloodstream. So I used to put a lot of different great oils on the bottoms of her feet. So that's lavender. Now the next oil was more for me and Derek, which was Peace and Calming, and still use it a lot to this day. Obviously, it would bring peace and calming into our house, and it smells amazing. It smells like a mixture between lavender and citrus fresh, if you've ever used that. It does have kind of a citrusy smell to it, but it's extremely relaxing, and it's just such a great oil. So if Cassie was having a really bad day, if she had just gone on a breastfeeding binge for hours, maybe 12 hours straight, she was eating every hour, which she did, I would diffuse Peace and Calming, and it really helped us. So those are my 3 oils that I recommend for sleep. So I'm going to go into the next category of oils, which would be Stress Away and Gentle Baby. So Stress Away and Gentle Baby are really those emotional support oils for you whenever you need a little bit of an extra pick-me-up with a newborn, which is all the time. So Gentle Baby obviously speaks in itself. This oil literally smells like a freshly cleaned baby. And I know a lot of kids that actually use this when they were newborns and babies, and now they're still obsessed with it. And like their parents will diffuse it at nighttime for them, and it helps them to sleep in it. And they'll, make a little spray, and they'll spray like their sheets and all of that with Gentle Baby, and it just smells amazing. Derek really likes it too, really likes the smell of it. If you can just, if you have ever held a newborn and you've smelt their head, that's kind of what Gentle Baby smells like. It just smells like the freshest baby. And it's great for pregnancy as well. Diffusing it when you're pregnant makes you just kind of have a more positive outlook, at least for me it did. And diffusing it whenever Cassie was a newborn, it just helped to bring me and her together, and it was really allowed us to bond better. And Stress Away, it was really for me. Breastfeeding is really hard. Having a newborn is really hard. Being a new mom is the absolutely hardest thing I have ever done in my life. And Stress Away was really there to help me through that. And what I would do is I would just apply it to my hands like this and smell it in like that. And then I would just kind of, put it on my neck and on my shoulders. You will also notice that this has a roller top ball on it. So you can get these from Young Living for like nothing. And so I put a roller ball on my Stress Away, and these are the two oils that I would bring with me into public, as well as citronella, but we'll talk about that in a second. And you can I've actually used Gentle Baby right on Cassie as well. So if she was having a fit in public, I would put this right on her chest, just like I showed you that I did with Sleepy Eyes. I would just put this right on her chest there like that. And you can also put it on their back as well, just kind of up and down their back if you want to. Remember, anytime you apply an oil to your newborn or to your baby, make sure you test it on the top of their hand first or on their foot, just to make sure they're not going to break out. So the next set of oils that I would use whenever Cassie maybe was feeling a little under the weather were Tummy Jize, Sniffle Ease, and Thieves. So Tummy Jize is one of those oils, again, I think that you have to be careful with whenever you're using it and you're breastfeeding, because if it gets on you, you could have a lower supply. These essential oils are very, very strong, and they can affect your hormones and things like that. So you have to be really careful. So always ask your lactation consultant before you use them. But Tummy Jize was great for when she had a stomach ache. And I used this when she was a little bit older. I didn't use it right when she was a newborn, but you would do the same thing that I showed you with the lavender. There's 3 to 5 circles clockwise on the tummy to help with any kind of tummy illness. Also helped with colic as well. And Digize is something that a lot of people use too, and they dilute that. This is already pre-diluted, and so it's a really great oil. I still use this on Cassie when she has a stomach bug, or if I can tell she ate something that didn't settle with her right. I'll still use this, and I'll still do that same exact method. Also put it on her feet too, the bottoms of her feet. So Sniffle Ease, same thing with that. This is really, really, really great oil whenever they get congested. So I would put this just on her chest here, and then also on the bottoms of her feet. Just clears them up, and it's not as in your face as eucalyptus or some of those other oils that are helpful for that, but are more really for adults or for kids, older kids. So Sniffle Ease is really a little bit more gentle in that aspect. And then Thieves, I really used everything Thieves, and I wish I would have known more about Thieves, because I would have then really, really used Thieves a lot more than I did. But I'll do another video about Thieves products that we use now. But back in the day when Cassie was newborn and she was sick, I would diffuse Thieves. And or if somebody in the house was sick, I would diffuse Thieves. I would also dilute it. So Thieves is really, really strong. So I would put about 1 to 2 or 2 to 3 drops in with about 20 drops of carrier oil and into a roller ball container. And I would roll it onto the bottoms of her feet, but I just made sure I diluted it a lot before I did that. And when that was when she was sick, I would use Thieves. Or if there was something going around, or, you know, if Dad or I was sick, then we would diffuse Thieves in the house all the time. So the last oil I wanted to talk about was citronella. So there's a lot of insect repellent out there that's going to say that it is, you know, safe for babies. It's non-toxic. You know, it's okay, gentle on the skin. But the reality is there's still a lot of crap in those things. So I would use citronella and I would mix it into a spray bottle with some witch hazel and some water. And I used purification as well. But I just had some citronella with me, so I was going to show you. So, and I would spray this on Cassie. And I used it really the first year of her life, and I'm going to still use it this season, but we just haven't had mosquitoes yet, thank God. So just spray it all over her, and it kept the mosquitoes away. So this is a great way to help ward away some of those pests and not have to use DEET. So Young Living also just came out with an insect repellent that is really, really great that I have not had the chance to use, and I'm going to get some before we start getting into that mosquito season. So I'm really excited. It's a great reminder for me. I need to add that to my list. So I will let you guys know how that mosquito repellent or how that insect repellent is once I get it. So the last couple products I wanted to show you that I used for her as a newborn is not Young Living, but I think that these are really 3 simple things that you can do with your newborn baby that will make a huge difference. So the first product is BioGaia. Your health starts in your gut first, and it's no different for a newborn baby. And so some newborns just need a little extra help with the digestive system. Well, actually, I would say probably 90% need a little help. And that was what BioGaia did for us. We would just put a couple of drops in her bottle once we had already warmed it up. And this actually already comes with vitamin D in it as well. So we didn't have to do any extra vitamin D drops or anything like that. But I did notice a huge difference. Well, I guess I would say a difference. It wasn't like, oh my gosh, completely different baby. But I did notice a difference when I started using a probiotic with Cassie when she was a newborn. Now, a lot of times these will tell you that you can't use them until they're 1, so you just need to talk to your pediatrician. But my pediatrician said it was fine, and we ended up using this when she was a newborn, and it was great, and we still use it now. And I really think that a probiotic is the first line of defense between getting sick and not getting sick. And so we make sure that we stay well rested, get lots of water, take our probiotics and supplements, and use essential oils a lot. The last 2 products I wanted to just talk about really quick that I think you need when you have a newborn is a sound machine. I recommend the Dome sound machine. These are awesome. I had an issue with one of them, and I contacted the company, and they expedited a new one out to me like overnight. I had it the next day, and I told them, you know, it was for my daughter, and so they are awesome, great customer service, and it's a really, really good sound machine. We have one in every room now because we love them so much. And then the last thing is, this is kind of a symbol for when Cassie was a newborn. She had colic, she didn't sleep, she had acid reflux, she was just a miserable baby. And she really did not like anybody but me. And sometimes she liked my mom too. So that means that, you know, Derek would try to help me, but most of the time she would just scream and cry and get upset, and it was just miserable. And I wasn't getting any sleep. So what we started to do was we started to sleep in the recliner and trick her into thinking she was sleeping on me when she was actually sleeping on Derek. But when we were sleeping in the recliner, I used this a lot to keep the light out. So I want you to know that if you find yourself sleeping in the recliner or on the couch and you feel like you failed as a little mom, as a brand new newborn mom, that is not the case. It happens to the best of us. And that's why I wanted to just show you guys this and talk to you about it a little bit. Really, it's survival of the fittest when you have a newborn. So just do what works for you. But this is what worked for me. So if you want more information, shoot me a comment down below or private message me and let me know. You guys have a great day, and I'll see you soon.